Hello, hello. Welcome to today's downfall. I've got one topic to talk about today. Um, Pretty much the news is all about masks and vaccinations, so that's overly discussed. If you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you don't, don't. I do not care. The mask mandates look like they're coming back. Lockdowns are surely to follow. Already in Australia, it's getting pretty rough, and that's what we're going to talk about today. As far as I know, there is protest in Australia, France, Italy, the UK, America, Germany. Um, Protests, like whether small or large, are happening all around the world on the upcoming lockdowns and or already happening lockdowns. This was supposed to be over with the vaccines. Um, it looks like it's far from over. The one variant absolutely destroyed whatever progress the vaccine was doing, which means the vaccine is not doing what it was designed to do. Um, which it is and it isn't. It will keep you from dying, kind of. Statistically, will keep you from getting severe illness, hospitalization, or death. So what we're going to talk about today, though, is this article that I just seen, and I was like, there we go. There's my episode for today. This is in Australia or in Sydney. The military has been deployed to help enforce lockdown. Now, this isn't to combat protests. This isn't, to have them out there as a show of force to keep people from getting violent or rioting in a protest. No, this is to help enforce a lockdown. They've deployed hundreds of soldiers to Sydney to help enforce the COVID lockdown. Delta outbreak, which began in June, has produced nearly 3,000 infections and led to 9 deaths. That is nothing. That is nothing. 9 out of 3,000, not a bad number at all. Uh, any death is sad. Obviously, that's not bad. Australian Defence Force soldiers will undergo training on the weekend before beginning unarmed patrols on Monday. So they don't have guns, which is good, but that does not mean it's not going to get violent or that there won't be mass arrest. But many have questioned whether the military intervention is necessary, calling it heavy-handed. The lockdown in place until at least 28th of August, so another month, bars people from leaving their home except for essential exercise, shopping, caregiving, and other reasons. Despite 5 weeks of lockdown, infections in the nation's largest city continue to spread. Officials recorded 170 new cases on Friday, today. Um, Soldiers will join police in virus hotspots to ensure people are following the rules, which include a 10-kilometer travel limit. Oh, talk about government overstep. Oh, man. This is frightening to me. It's Australia, so it has nothing to do with me, but I am in a rather liberal area. I'm in Germany, so I don't think they will go that far. I'm in a very rural area. But still, as one country oversteps, like Australia is not China. It's not North Korea. It's not Russia. Australia is a free, democratic place. And yeah, Sydney included. So this is it's crazy to me. And I know the UK and Australia have been getting heavy-handed through this whole process of, busting in people's houses for violating quarantine, like, tearing doors down to get to these people. State Police Minister David Elliott said it would help because a small minority of Sydney-siders thought the rules didn't apply to them. It doesn't. The government can literally go suck. Information provided by health officials indicates the virus is mainly spreading through permitted movement. So why do they need? Look at this. Rules don't apply to them, but the information provided by health officials indicates the virus is mainly spreading through permitted movement. So that's not even pertaining to that. That's that's insane. Um, the Australian Lawyers Alliance civil rights group called the deployment of a concerning use of the army in a liberal democracy. Sydney extends lockdowns as other cities reopen. Melbourne towers locked down, breached human rights. The outbreak has largely affected critical workers and large family groups in the city's poorer and ethnically diverse west and southwest suburbs. About 2 million people live there. Critics say those areas have already faced targeted policing measures. They point out restrictions there are harsher than the rest of Sydney. Our poor people are one of the poorest demographics, and as it is, they already feel picked on and marginalized. So let's send the military. They can't afford to pay the mortgage, the rent, the food, or the work. Now, to throw out the army to enforce lockdown on the streets is going to be a huge issue to these people. Damn right. Others have called for government to increase its vaccine drive and support services for the affected communities. Australia's rate of vaccination, 17% of the adult population, remains one of the lowest among OECD nations. That is actually very low. But I mean, good on them. They don't have to. The government is the biggest cause of vaccine hesitancy out there, especially now with the relocking down, the remasks, like all of that noise. It's just dumb. Uh, they're talking about having to show up somewhere vaccinated or with a negative test. Vaccinations does not stop you from transmitting the disease. CDC, WHO, every country with the vaccines, they have already put that out there. It does not stop you from spreading the disease. And now with the Delta variant, you can carry up to 2,000 times more, or no, 1,000 times more of the virus in your nose. So it's very easy to see if you have a positive test or not, but you can carry it. So there's going to be way more asymptomatic transfer of this than before. Now there's still going to be people getting sick, vaccinated or unvaccinated, but it's going to be all over. The vaccine is actually going to help the virus hide and be transmitted to those that are unvaccinated. So yeah, good on them. But the thing is people that aren't getting the vaccine aren't that worried about COVID. Otherwise, they would get the vaccine, and that's on them. It is not the overstep is getting insane. It's getting out there. So another short episode. It's Friday. Family's home. I'm going to get off here. Thank you for watching. I will see you Monday.